up here, but as the day went on, you had a lot of sellers stepping in, and that's where it ended the day. So getting a nice breakout here from this 360 level. The other thing I kind of like to do is go back and look at how breakouts get traded in the past, and it looks like this one's had some, it's had some positive follow through on breakouts. So here was a breakout here, pulled back the next day. Here's a breakout here, didn't really work out. Breakout here, kind of popped up and then pulled back. I think the chances of this being, a short-term trade would be pretty good. Long-term, I'd look for a bit of a pullback if you wanted to get into it and ride it higher, but it's, it's already run quite a bit and we're pretty overbought. It does look pretty positive though. Yeah. Oh, my dyslexia.
And I'll say hello to everybody out on YouTube. Welcome.
YouTube.
Good. Friends on YouTube are joined us.
Nice. Hello, YouTube. So here he's got a fair amount of shares outstanding. Well, roughly 100 million in the float. Always kind of puts a bit of a damper on pops because there's so many shares outstanding. You've got about 10% that are short, which doesn't necessarily hurt. I always like to see who's buying and who's selling here. So you got a director selling at 210. Not a big deal. Well, I sold a fair amount of shares, but whatever. It's not like a lineup of company insiders selling stock. This is one I like. The purple's been ripping higher, but if you look here, which I always find kind of funny. I mean, if you looked at this, you would think, what the heck's going on? Like the insiders, just everybody's selling, sell. They're just leaking out shares as fast as they can. It's what it looks like to me. So that's just an example of not necessarily, it's just an indicator. Doesn't necessarily mean your things are, stock's not going to keep going up.
Partial on Boeing. I said I wasn't going to trade again, but I did. Here, look, partial. Hey, good. I've made my money back. Boeing, let's go. I want to see it down.
Okay, let's look at Nokia, because I actually traded Nokia back here. I got some calls on it, and it really ripped higher. So, and Nokia is another one I was kind of thinking about a leap, like a really long-term option trade, like going into next year. But I mean, that's just, it's basically you're kind of betting on the company, not necessarily turning around, but at least, stock price coming up. You can see here, there's a lot of people stuck. So it might be a bit of a, not as good a trade. Yeah, it could be. If you think that Nokia's maybe rounding a corner here and the long-term prospects are good for it, then yeah, why not take a long-term option? I think they're pretty cheap from an implied volatility perspective. Here's BlackBerry. Let's take a look at the stuff I went over last night on my swing trade videos. I didn't catch any of these, which was a drag because a lot of the pullbacks happened at the when we were day trading this morning, which is always a problem. You know, I miss a lot of my swing trades because I get alerts and I can't act on them because I might be in the middle of a trade with OCGN or something like that, like we did this morning. So this one was a nice, again, love this setup. Go ahead. Were you going to
I
say
was going
something?
to say OCGN.
Yeah, OCGN, baby. Got it twice.
Crazy.
Yeah. So here's a nice ascending triangle. Again, this is something that you'd look for as a pattern. As a day trader, you might look for this kind of a pattern. Swing trader, same thing. I'm just looking at the daily. I'm not looking at the 2-minute chart. So same principles apply here. You don't typically in day trading, this was a question we did get in the day trading class or session a week ago. Do we watch MACD? Do we watch, stochastics, that kind of stuff, RSI on day trading? And typically not, typically don't watch those. These are indicators that typically swing traders will use and position traders as opposed to a day trader. So here we got a nice ascending triangle. Here's your bottom. Here's where you're breaking out from. Of course, this goes back to this level right here. And of course, we got a nice breakout. So now I'm going to have to wait for it to pull back because I don't really want to chase it. Here's another one that, again, this one actually I did have I don't know if my alert fired off. But again, this looks like, sort of like gap up. Now we've pulled back. This is exactly the pattern I was talking about at the beginning. Gap up. This is why I don't like to chase stocks up because, you get a gap up. You get this pop the next day, and then you get the pullback right back to where you broke out from. So this is just a classic pop pullback. And this is where the crocodile trader will just sit here and wait in the weeds and wait for the stock to come to them. You don't go chasing things. You're not a cheetah, you're a crocodile, if I can use that analogy.
I used that exact one in one of my presentations a little while back. So.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Crocodiles are, they're lazy, but that's not a bad thing. That's their strategy. They lay by the bank and they wait for their meal to come along.
Well, I think I look at it differently, Brian. They're not lazy. They're just they're equipped for one activity, right? So they don't waste energy. They, running out into the plains, you're not going to catch a gazelle.
Yeah.
So just wait where you're good, right? That's where they're good. I think it's the same strategy in trading, right? Leverage your strength.
Yeah, absolutely. Lazy wasn't probably an appropriate term. They're just strategic.
There you go.
They don't have to exert a lot of energy, which chasing things around. They just have patience and they wait. So
they've been around for this long for a reason, right?
Exactly. So here you go. Here's a cheetah, crocodile. Yeah, they're amazing. They're fast. Anyway, here's BRQS. This was another one I looked at this morning, in my watch list. Missed again. Just looking at these from a setup perspective, and this one pains me. Look at this. This was a nice breakout on this one. Getting a bit of a pullback here. Again, look at this. Again, same pattern. We get the pop up, we get the follow through the next day, but in a hollow fill candle, which means all this price got given up here, and then we pull back right back to where it broke out from here, and now we're looking like we might hit higher on this. I'll watch that one kind of end of day. NNDM, nice little bottoming action here. We get the pullback, get another pop up, little pullback, higher low, and that's why I like that one. Of course, I have some stock in that. PLTR, I'm in that one as well. I got a nice little pop today, sold some, still holding some. And QS I'm kind of keeping an eye on, looking like it's maybe maybe we're putting in a higher low here, so watch that tomorrow. Rocket's a piece of crap. It's just not, can't get any love. No love. Silver capped up today. Just finding it hard to trade. There's just so much gaps and so much up and down there. And again, that's it. Gevo. Yeah, what is it? Gevo. Yeah. Nice little, again, had a pullback. We had this breakout, and we had this pullback to where we broke out from. And now we're just creeping back up again here. Just kind of, I know I've looked at this before. I always like to look at, when I'm looking at stocks, I do like to look at a couple things. I like to look at shares outstanding. I like to look at the float, how much is short. This kind of all gives you a bit of a view of what kind of stock trade you might expect. But yeah, Gevo is looking, it looks actually pretty nice on a possible swing trade here. Yeah, I know. There's just, I don't know what it is about Rocket. You know, sometimes you just have those stocks that just, they just can't get out of their own way. And sometimes you just have to ignore them. It's just acknowledge that that's the way it trades. Yeah, it's not an easy stock. I know a few other people have tried to take a stab at it. Yeah, okay. Well, there was staff. Let's take a look at staff. This sounds like a SPAC. Nope. Okay, so you can see what happened here. We did on staff. We did try to break out from this this sort of trading range here. We had a resistance here, and again became resistance here. We can say about this is it actually doesn't look. It's not horrible because you had a nice run up. You can see here we're kind of stuck between these moving averages, and then we had a bit of a breakout here. I'd be looking to see if it pulled back under $1, like if you got 98 cents or 95 cents. Here's 94 cents on this moving average. I'd be looking. You could take a starter position maybe, or just watch what it does tomorrow. Take a starter position. If you get a pullback to here, 94, and then you have a tight stop below that. Again, it's these low dollar stocks can be a little bit trickier to trade, and I don't know what. Let's take a quick boo here. I'm gonna have to wrap things up here because we're getting. I know Mike's going to come on here in a minute, possibly, and we're going to talk about trade of the week. So again, okay, so interesting. It actually is a little interesting, a little more interesting. You've got a float of only 7 million shares and 10%. So yeah, kind of interesting. We had a nice little pop here. Some of these again, this is kind of crocodile trading, but some of these have these nice big pops, and they happen every 3 to 6 months. So one strategy is just basically follow some of these things that have the big pop. 3 months later, take a position and just wait for this next announcement that's going to rip these higher. I did one with this one here. So I had a big pop, got back in down around here, and then just got out of it on that pop. Now that that was like about was in around $1.50, so it was up over $2. So that was I made what was it, 30 some odd percent in just waiting for just kind of waiting for a couple months. It's not a bad return for 3 months. Again, the risk obviously is it just starts to leak off, then you have to decide to get out. But anyway, yeah, OPTT. Let's yeah. Again, yeah, you just you can do some of these trades if there's so many strategies that you can use. You just look at these pops, give them time to pull back and consolidate, and then OPTT is kind of an interesting stock when you look at it. You can see how it keeps coming back, testing a moving average, and then surges up, comes back, testing moving average. It's looking a little toppy here. So, Peter, are you going to do? Is Mike joining us? Oh, Mike's on. Okay, so here's what I'm watching. That's I'm going to say it's keeping me up at night, but this is, and I keep repeating this in these swing trade videos. These yields are really starting to take off, and I think that in the long run, if we start getting up to, people are saying maybe 2%, and you think, well, that's a 50% gain, but we're only at 1% now on this yield here. So if we really start to look at Bitcoin, eh? Wow. Bitcoin breaking out today, guys. Dollar weakened. But if we're still in an uptrend here on this 10-year treasury, I mean, I think this is an area here where probably market's going to have a little bit of a conniption. Just my guess. But again, doesn't seem to be phasing anyone right now, but just keeping an eye on this. So, all right. Snap? I didn't look at Snap here. One more quickly, and then we're going to turn things over to Mike to do the trade of the week. Again, Snap kind of really a big outside day on Friday. This was amazing. We watched this Thursday night, sell off down below 50, and it went out the day, on Friday at what, 60? Well, went out at 63, 64. That was a rare. It's hard to ever see a stock trade like this, but this was crazy. But anyway, what I would do for a swing trade on this, really, I'd be looking for Snap to pull back here. Again, it's just hard to chase it. A stock that was so strong. I mean, it did a little bit of a pullback today. I'd expect more of a pullback. Maybe we'll get back to 60, 61, somewhere in that range. At least if you take an entry around 60, 61, at least you can use a tighter stop than paying $63 for it and then having it pull back. That's kind of my sense on this, but it's hard to chase a stock up here like that. On the weekly, again, we're just breaking out. There's nothing but blue sky above here. Nobody down here on the big shelf. So, all right, I think that's my signal for time to go.
Well, it wasn't really that. It's just that's my 1 minute warning to the 10-minute bell. So we'll see what happens.
I'll stop. Yeah, I think, you know what? Bitcoin definitely breaking out here. Mara and Riot, GBTC, you could play it that way too. Wow, my TNA trade over 100 now. Wow. Here we go.
So I think I'm up sharing in the room. So good afternoon, everybody.
It looks like someone's. You're playing a. Are you at the game?
Yeah.
You're at the big game.
I was at the game yesterday in my room, Brian.
Okay. In your dungeon?
So, in my dungeon, watching the game. It was, even if you were a Patriot fan, it was still a pretty good game to watch, considering I scored it Patriots 21, Tampa Bay 10, and Kansas City 9.
Wow, look at that gap. What the?
21 of those points came from former Patriots. So.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Yeah, the dynamic duo was back together, eh? I didn't. My wife would. My wife had to tell me that. What's the receiver came out of retirement?
Ron Gronkowski.
Gronkowski.
Yeah.
He came back just for this, and I guess it was worth it, right? He got another ring out of it. So.
Yep, just out of it. So the member trade of the week goes to Iban for his trade on Snap on Friday. Had a nice stop loss, took it at the break of VWAP, held up, added back in not once, not twice, but 3 times before getting completely out as the trade started to go against him. So excellent trade that earned him the trade of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So excellent.
Nicely done.
Yeah. There were some, there again, as every week, there's every trade of the day, is excellent. It's just, you just have to, boy, it's always hard to figure out which one you're going to vote for, because, every day we get some excellent trades submitted by our traders out there.
Yes. So today, my Twitter account, I can't get into it on my computer. So we'll bring up the trade of the day tomorrow for everybody from today. So if you haven't submitted anything, you're still good for today if you took any late trades.
Oh, hacked. You've been hacked.
So not hacked.
Okay.
I just there's something going on with my desktop that it's not allowing me to sign in. So I get it on my phone, but I don't get it on my computer where I need it to display. So if you want to submit, mark them up.
Tampa Bay fans.
Yeah, must be. Tag at Bearable Traders, that might be _ BBT at NorBBT. Use the hashtag BBT Family Day Trading and Stock Market. Every Monday we'll select the winner for the trade of the week out of each day's winners. This week, tomorrow, we have a town hall question and answer with Andy Kirshner. He's a successful trader, also works out of proprietary firm, so looking forward to that. The following week, if you're not in a trade, you can talk
I am not.
about your...
Yeah, well, we've done this before. We'll do it again. We'll do a webinar on how to trade the right share size for you. We'll go over a number of different methods by which you can select your trade sizing, and we'll talk about the pros and cons of each. So, usually when you're getting started, you just don't know how many shares to take or how you manage that. I'll lay out some different options by which you can do it, and we'll have a good. Hopefully a learning session and a great conversation. So that will be next Tuesday, the 16th at 8 o'clock.
Yes, looking forward to that. And then on Wednesday, Creta will be here at a special time, 5 p.m. Eastern. So that's 1 hour after the market closes because she's located over in England. And she'll be going over a review over everything she's talked about over the last 6 months, and then we'll invite 5 members of the community that have been working on some of these strategies that she has presented, and they'll get a chance to ask her questions and work on it. So I've found the affirmations to be quite beneficial to my trading, so really enjoy it. And then the following week
I'm still using them.
Yep, I do too. Every day. It's amazing how well they work. Mindfulness, we'll have Nada come in talking about how to balance your effort with patience, especially in a market at the open that we've had the last week or so. That's been kind of choppy unless you're in the right stocks at the right moment. So just how to be patient and wait for it. And then tonight, for all of you out on YouTube, if you'd like to give our chat room a try, you can use the code premarket24. This is going to give you access to our onboarding class at 8 p.m. with Carlos, and then also to Kyle's technology class on the DAS Trader Pro platform and some hotkeys. So you have access to that, as well as to the introduction course for bear bull traders. And with that, we'll go into the last 4.5 minutes of the market.
Yeah, I'm very, oh, dang it, God. Anyways, Boeing, I know. Look at Boeing in the drop. I was short. I got stopped out, and it came up, made barely a new high, and then, anyway, so that would have been hard to get back into. Microsoft upsets me. I posted the image of it just a few minutes ago. Oh, my goodness. I was in that $1 ago now. Oh, look at it go now. Just teasing me.
Just to annoy the heck out of you.
Spice is pushing higher, too, into the close, making new highs.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's crazy, eh? Crazy, eh?
Have we got any earnings?
So our earnings today, we got Chegg after hours and Take-Two Interactive, but nothing really exciting on the forefront.
Take-Two should be a little interesting.
So I'm scrolling through and can't find much. So tomorrow, what do we have tomorrow morning? Could be interesting. CGC tomorrow morning, so that one will be interesting, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Could be another one of those sell the news as it's been popping up lately.
Yeah. I still don't. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Hard to read on that one, eh?
Yeah.
Hard to read.
So nothing all that exciting before the market tomorrow, and we have Twitter after the close, Cisco, Lyft tomorrow. So that could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
As we are going in, OCGN, that one.
Yeah, OCGN is popping up. I think it's going to be. I think it's looks maybe interesting for tomorrow.
Yeah.
You think so? It's well, yeah, it might be more than a one-day wonder with the news if we hear more about what they're doing. Look at this thing. Wow, I didn't realize it was up as high as 19 bucks almost.
Oh, yeah.
18
yeah, it was crazy. This could be another one of those by the craziness news.
You realize that if like 19 bucks. So if Andrew had just held the entire size that he took at the open, he probably would have made like $500,000 by the time he exited close to the highs.
Well, so you love those coulda, shoulda, wouldas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Andrew has the patience for that, Peter.
Oh no, absolutely not. But it's just one of those. To me, that's just so impressive about when you start thinking about the number of shares that he takes on a trade, right? It's,
I know.
Anyways.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I took a pretty heavy size on that, but it was nothing compared to, well, what I would consider heavy anyway.
Right.
But I always kind of like to relate it to poker a bit. I mean, when you're sitting across a table and playing with someone who's got like a massive pile of chips, it makes it a little more challenging. I think you've kind of got an edge on someone who doesn't have that same bank.
You can bully them in poker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can force them out of positions because you can afford to bluff where they can't. So I
Yeah.
think Andrew's. Oh, what happened to my closing bell? We're closed here.
Ooh.
My bell didn't ring.
Yeah. And Qualcomm went into the close. Look at that Boeing pop up right there at the close, Peter, all the way back to the high at 212.
Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
There's the bell you missed.
Here's the bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Reset. It didn't happen today, but all right. Well, that was a miserable day for me. Anyways, I closed with 2 trades that didn't hurt me, but they didn't make me a lot of money and didn't cover up my losses. So we're ending today red. Doesn't happen often, which is good. Makes me sad when it does.
Yes.
What's today? Today's the 8th.
February 8th. So
We really blew the doors off going into the close here on the SPY.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff pushed up going in. Lots of buying going.
Boy, Bitcoin really busted a move today.
Yes. Definitely. So with that, we'll say goodbye to everybody out on YouTube, as I believe we all have some place to be this afternoon. So we'll be watching the earnings. So thank you for joining.
Have a great rest of the evening, everyone.